Western Australia, and we welcome you for our webinar. And my special guest is Dr. Janine or Jem for short. We call you Jem, right?
Yes po.
So welcome. I am a breast radiologist and a business owner. I have my own private practice here in Western Australia. And I created this webinar series to guide you and inspire you overseas trained doctors from, especially from the Philippines, who are dreaming of practicing here in Australia as a medical doctor. So we welcome you, everyone, and I hope you are going to learn a lot from our guest Dr. Jem, and I know how overwhelming and uncertain your journey can be. Been there, done that, Jem. Been there, done that. So we're here. It's our mission to make sure you don't have to do it alone because back then I did it on my own. I did not have any guidance. And so my mission is just to be a mentor that I did not have. So today, this afternoon, it's only 4 o'clock here in Perth. We have the same time zone in Manila. I'm honored to be joined by Jem. She's a Filipino doctor who recently completed her internship and now an RMO, resident medical officer. It's meaning PG1 or PG2. I'm not sure.
Two.
Two, PG2. So she's going to share her journey and how she is surviving and thriving in the Australian healthcare system. She's here to share her story, her wins, her struggles, and lessons throughout the process. So I hope this will educate you, inspire you, and so let's get started. Hello, Jem. Thanks for
Hello,
joining.
Doc. Thanks for
Um,
inviting.
Thank you. I know you're under the weather, ang tawag ba dun?
Yeah.
And yes, thank you for making even the effort and time to be here this afternoon kahit na you're not feeling well, you're still here, ready to inspire and empower our fellow Filipino doctors. Thank you. So, um, no further ado, if you don't mind introducing yourself to us, our participants.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Jem. Just call me Jem. I am a graduate of Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, batch 2018. Sinabi ko yung batch para later on you would understand that we were the first batch during COVID, so 2018. I think of my batchmates are here. After graduation, I did moonlighting. I did courses in BCom. I also did aesthetics. Most of my work was telehealth. And also I supported the COVID task force during that time. Also did volunteer works during COVID as well. And then at the same time, also doing RMO, so or like resident medical officer in the Philippines. So moonlighting jobs in different hospitals in the Philippines as well. At the same time, during moonlighting, I also did my master's in hospital management in at Emilio Aguinaldo College. And yeah, so um that's my short intro.
Okay, so what made you decide to pursue a career in Australia? How, when, how did, yeah, I'm curious.
So my decision to pursue a career in Australia was driven by multiple personal and professional factors. So initially, I dreamt of becoming a surgeon, but during the internship, I felt like, this is not the lifestyle for me. Because of the long hours, unpredictable schedules, I felt like it wasn't for me. But then I still try to attempt to enter residency training after internship because that's the thing. Like if you graduate internship, eventually you have to do residency training. So peer pressure, everyone's getting into training. I have to do it as well. So I also tried, but I feel like I found myself prioritizing a better work-life balance. So although I hoped to still specialize in another field, so before it was like a surgical one, I tried to do ENT, but sabi ko, oh, I don't think it's for me. Um, I hope to specialize in
Kunin ko
dermatology.
muna.
So I was unable to secure a spot in the program. I tried twice, but I failed. Your first time, during my first year of graduation of internship, the second try, sabi ko, one last try, tapos pag hindi talaga, push ko na AMC. So that was the time I said, okay, I would do it. And at the same time, I had my daughter and my desire to give her as much time as possible. It became a major influence as my career choice. So ultimately, Australia presented the right opportunities for fulfilling career. And at the same time, watching videos like this webinar, because like, I think 2 years or 3 years ago when I was doing my AMC one, nanonood din po ako ng mga videos nyo and I was inspired by those RMOs who are already here, like even the GP one. So yeah.
Really? You were
Yes, ma'am.
already binge watching me?
Yes.
Wow,
I was
nakakatuwa
watching you,
naman.
Doc Edwin, Doc Arya. So yeah.
Oh, talaga? Wow,
Inspiring.
natutuwa akong malaman yon na we made a difference in your life and inspired you too, and now you're paying forward.
I actually feel very happy to be a guest speaker here.
Okay, so you studied for AMC1 whilst in the Philippines?
Yes po. So AMC1 is just an online exam. You can take it whilst you're in the Philippines. And during that time, even AMC2 online pa din, but I didn't do AMC2 during that time. So I did AMC1 and then waited for the results. I was also a medical writer. I forgot to tell you about that. But during that time, I did medical writing whilst waiting for the results. And then I did my English test, submitted multiple, when I say multiple, like hundreds of applications, and I got rejected like hundreds as well, 100 times. And then I was lucky enough to get a job just after AMC1 and the PTE. So yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So congratulations. And
Thank
so
you.
while you're doing that job, what happened next? So you were doing 1 year or 6 months, and then what happened? You're already here, you're with your hubby and your daughter. Um, what happened whilst you're here? Are you doing an RMO job or are you doing already internship job?
So
Tell
I
me.
got here po, it took some time before I actually land the job. I had one interview sa East Coast and then I didn't hear any feedback at all. And then I was lucky enough to be navigated to this job. And then during that time they like may friend po ako na nag-say, oh, may opening dito sa ganitong hospital. And then I was lucky enough to be able to get into this position. It was an RMO, but we were filling in an intern position. So may certain hospitals that would actually get you as an intern, even if you're PGY1, PGY2, PGY3. So it doesn't matter as long as if you're filling that intern job in that hospital, they can still hire you. So yun po yung naging path ko. It's like an RMO but filling an intern job. So I didn't take it as a negative thing na uy 2018 pa ako graduate, 2024 na. Intern na naman ako. But it was fine with me because I would actually start again and in a different system. So I was happy with that. Yeah.
So it helped you survive and thrive in the change of system from Philippine system to Australian healthcare system. It helped you simplify rather than feeling overwhelmed. Were you feeling overwhelmed when you were here doing an intern job or parang easy peasy na sa'yo?
When it comes po sa theoretical, definitely a little bit easy. But the cases are actually different. Like um, say chest pain or like difficulty of breathing or like simpleng ubo. 'Di ba sa Philippines po if you have like chronic cough, you would think of PTB, pulmonary tuberculosis sometimes or like most of the time. But then here it's different kasi we don't usually encounter that here. So those were the things na iba. So parang tinanggal ko yung bias ko with regards to that, and at the same time um it was very challenging kasi even if you think that, oh, mataas yung English score mo, pero, or like, akala mo English speaking ka na. But then, when you get here, the accent's really different. So, it's still a struggle. So, you'll be guided by your seniors as well. So, I think in that case, challenging po siya in a way na it's difficult to communicate if you're not used um, to that setting. And at the same time, the healthcare system is actually very different as well. But having done my internship here, it was really a humbling experience. And at the same time, we were guided by our seniors, the registrars, the consultants, or even the RMOs. They're very helpful during my internship year. So yeah.
That's the advantage of coming here in Australia. A lot of people will be thinking or feeling scared that they're gonna be intimidated or bullied. That's the most common or
Mm.
frequently asked questions I see in the chat groups that about it. Actually, when you work here in Australia as a doctor or even as a trainee, as a junior doctor, I, well, my observation or my experience, they are very, very supportive. They want to help you. They want you to succeed. They're very helpful. Actually, even the nurses, they are gonna be very helpful. They know that you're new, and if you don't ask, you will not get. Meaning, if you're struggling, if you're feeling lost or feeling confused, you do not need to hesitate to ask questions and ask help because they are so willing to help. And what's also humbling as well, all the consultants, junior consultants, the residents, we call them registrars. Um, they're very helpful as well, and they are very generous with their knowledge. Do you agree?
I agree, Doc. 100%. 100%.
Very generous with their knowledge. Kung meron man buljakan, it's very, very rare. Maybe just one bitter person, but everyone, 99% or 99.9% of the hospital population, for me, in my experience, they're very kind. Uh, and walang buljakan, kung meron man. I don't care anymore because but all what I care are the 99% of the people who are there to help you, willing to help you and support you. So that's my experience and I'm sure it's the same for you. I don't think you need to worry about ang tawag doon, yung transition
Yes
kasi
po.
everyone will help you transition. Maganda ang ano nila, 'di ba, onboarding nila.
Mm, I agree.
Meron silang process.
They have a process, may orientation. And I remember, Doc, I was doing ED as my first rotation. I was very overwhelmed. Sabi ko, para ako nasa series, parang dream na hindi ko alam ba't ako nandito. Dapat nanonood ba ako? Gumagalaw ba? Things like that. But then, I realized here, it's not hierarchical. It doesn't matter who you are. We call everyone on a first name basis, even if duty consultants are the highest person sa team. And at the same time, even at the ED setting, nagtuturo talaga sila. So, I say it's a very supportive environment. So don't be overwhelmed. Huwag din matakot. Yeah.
So that's one of the differences. What of the training system here in Australia and in the Philippines? Are there any other differences that you've noticed?
So that one po, yung support and less hierarchical. Definitely work hours, doc. So, definitely, during my internship, 36 hours, mahina pa yun. I did my internship at DOH, PSCH, so Philippine Centers for Specialized Healthcare. So, we got to rotate to different hospitals like NKTI, Heart Center, East Ave mainly, and PCMC as well. So, we had like 36 hours and more than that as well during that time. I'm not sure kung yung bagong batch po ganito, I think hindi na daw. But definitely you don't do 24 hours. I think the max would be 15. Also my roster siya and it's very clear you don't have to do admin work. Kasi may admin na nag-aayos nung duty hours nyo and there's also mandated rest period. So like say you have to have at least 8 or 10 hours rest in between your shifts. So hindi ka pwedeng i-overwork kasi important din sa kanila yung mental health mo. At the same time, definitely patient load and definitely the resources kasi here it's well equipped, wala masyadong challenge when it comes to providing healthcare to the patient. So that's also one thing na nakakatuwa din because you don't have to think about saan kukunin ng patient yung NSS or like wala na akong tawag dito, wala na akong cannula. Hindi ko na kailangan mag-HB na yung cannula from the different department. So definitely. Yeah.
I remember when I was doing a fellowship in interventional radiology, I remember my patients who are end-stage renal disease and they are still doing fistula, stent insertion, ang tawag dun? Stand insertion at saka checking of stand, whether it's their stricture. We also, and these are patients who are in their 80s and 90s and they are on dialysis and they're still alive and thriving and yeah, alive and well.
Mm.
And then I remember we are doing embolization, direct embolization of their liver metastasis. Again, these are, stage 4 patients who are, we are still saving their lives and they're still alive and well. So, iba ang survival rate dito. It's an aging population actually, di ba?
Yes po.
So yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people will be asking about financially. How are you able to support yourself, your hobby, how do you make time for family if you're working full time or shift work? How was it?
Um, Financially first, initially nung wala pang, I started doc as an observer kasi I didn't get my APRA then. I only had the visa and then wasn't sure kung kailan darating yung APRA. Kasi you can come here even with just your visa whilst they're still preparing for your APRA. So I came here, wala pang sweldo, living by the savings. We were fine. Kasi malaki yung serving. So when nag-order ka sa restaurant, malaking serving. Financially, I was able to support myself and our family as well during the first year kasi we came here before with a training visa. So my husband actually had limited number of working hours. So he was working whilst pag off ako, mag-work siya. But then mainly from the salary, which is I was surprised. It's more than enough. So we were able to rent our own place and we're even able to get a car. So I think example lang to ng mga bagay na huwag ka matatakot dalhin yung family mo dito kasi kaya siya. Kaya talaga siya. When it comes to time, when I was in the Philippines, I was doing teleconsult. I was doing medical writing, 8 hours na job yon. Tapos nagte-teleconsults ako, 2 to 3 hours. And then, papasok pa ako ng clinic kasi meron pa akong mga clinic sa Makati na for the occupational health medicine. I don't know how. Traffic, I don't know how I was able to do it. Definitely 1 to 2 hours lang yung time ko with my family. But then here, even if 10 hour yung shift ko, relaxed ako, happy ako. 5 minutes away lang po yung beach. So, yeah, really, nakatuwa, nakatuwa.
And you have a day off. How many days? Kung if 3 or 4 days on ka na 10 hours every day, how many days yung off mo? 3 to 4 days off?
3 to 4 days off, opo. And then, like say, ED, we got our roster na kasi. So, yung ED, you may be working, like say, 7 days straight kasi in a fortnight or yung quincenas. Pwede kang mag-work towards the end of the week and then kakainin niya yung first few days of the next week. And then the rest of the days, you'll have it off. So, basically, you'll be working 80 hours per fortnight or per quincena. So 40 hours a week lang. The rest is my time and family time as well. So very work-life balance.
Very achievable at saka rewarding,
Yes.
'di ba? Kasi kung sakaling hindi ako nag-Australia at nasa Pilipinas pa ako, I think I will be the same. I'll be working 6 to 7 hours and I don't think I will have time for my family because there's maids. And I don't think we'll have a day off like what we have now. As you said, I only work 4 days a week and I have 3 days off. And that 3 days off is my me time and my time to go to the beach as well. Although ngayon is not a good time kasi winter, it's our day 4 of winter. Kaya naka-puffer jacket ako. But yeah, it's really there's no such thing as maids here. You do everything on your own. You and your hubby will be doing everything on your own, and you'll be raising your kids to know how to do work at home. Diba?
True. Opo.
Yeah. So,
And that's the dream, Doc.
that's a
Yung
dream, of
ginagawa niyo
course.
pong 4 days. That's the
Yes,
dream.
yes, yes. Okay, challenges. I'm sure you have challenges. Personal challenges. Were you homesick? Na-miss mo ba ang lifestyle mo sa Pilipinas?
Mm, homesick, Doc. Homesick wise, hindi ako masyadong homesick kasi since college, I used to be away from the family. I think mas marami pang interaction namin nowadays kasi malayo. So parang we do more of the video calls. But definitely I miss my friends and my family. Kasi syempre iba pa rin po yung nandyan sila, isang text mo lang, okay, lalabas tayo na. Um, Not so much, but it depends from one person to another. And at the same time, I think it helped kasi sinama ko nga po yung family ko. What else? I think when it comes to the support of the family, say for example, when it comes to emergencies or like, hala sino magsusundo kapag pareho kaming not available. That's one thing. That's the one challenging part. Pero nagagawan po yung na paraan eh. What else? I think mostly adjusting to the system here. Kasi syempre, hindi siya tulad sa atin na I was told by mama, ayan, tigisa kayo ng sasakyan sa Pilipinas ngayon, nagko-commute kayo dyan. Parang more of a lifestyle issue or like, paano yan? Wala tayong kakilala sa ganito or kakilala sa ganyan, mahirap mag-process. So things like that. But then I think you'll be able to adapt and at the same time, you have to follow yung step by step and yung processes din dito in general. So, yun po. But generally, I feel mas okay po ako here as compared to when I was there back home. Kasi puro anxiety ako back home. Like, okay, nag-earn ka this much. But then, yung lagi ko po kasing thinking, having been working as an insurance agent back home, inisip ko lagi, okay, you earn this much, pero may magkasakit lang sa family mo. Do you think enough pa yung na-earn mo? So, ganun po ako mag-isip kasi in general. So, kaya parang dito, okay, meron akong peace of mind. Yan. Ganun po.
So, anong ano mo, apart from that, meron ka bang adjustment or hurdles in terms of cultural differences and expectations? perception mo and expectations sa iyo ng mga senior mo o ng work colleagues mo?
Um, when I was doing my first year last year, ng internship, lagi ako tinatanong, oh, where did you do your uni? I was like, ano yung uni? So, where did you do uni? Uni is medical school dito. So, ko, oh, I did it in the Philippines, ganyan. So, oh, and then, are you an RMO or an intern? So, kahit ako, parang, intern ba ako, RMO? I said intern. Kasi when you say you're an intern here, they don't expect too much from you. Like, parang kahit PGY 7 or 8 ka pa, they don't expect too much from you as compared to if you're an RMO. That's one thing. If you come in from a different system and then matagal na yung years of practice mo, I think may perception sila na you should be doing very well in your work kasi nga matagal na yung experience mo. But then, hindi ko po masyado nakita siya as a challenge because they're very supportive. So if you don't know much, they're very helpful and they will try to help you talaga.
So, nag-intern ka na sa Philippines and while we were interns, we have done everything and anything as a doctor. Um, Anong difference ng pagiging intern or PG2 dito sa Australia? May,
Um,
may hands-on ba sila? May hands-on ba kayo? Or
yes, Doc, definitely. Iba yung practice po here in Australia, definitely, kasi syempre merong restrictions sa ano yung pwede mong gawin sa hindi. So dito, in Australia, they practice na if you're just a junior doctor, there are certain things that you can't do as compared to a consultant or like a registrar who is skilled to do, say, for example, intubation. So out of bounds yun. So may limitations yung scope of work mo, and we respect that. Back home, you can do anything. But then here, if you're keen and you're very much willing, if you're proactive, the seniors are very much willing to help you and guide you do that as well. So, nung nasa rural po ako, there were also, I was doing Gen Med, so IM sa atin yon. May mga procedures din na pinagawa sa akin or like lumbar puncture, they were happy for me to do it. Kasi sabi ko, pwede po ba akong gumawa? So, hinihingi ko siya. So, in here, huwag kayo matakot, hingin siya. If you're confident enough to do it and you are teachable, then definitely they're very much happy to help you. Yun po.
actually, see one, do one, teach one.
Yes.
So, maraming magtatanong for sure, and ito yung most commonly asked questions. You had your AMC1, you passed your AMC1, and you've applied 100 jobs already, and you're not getting any responses. What ano kaya? What's your advice to them when applying for jobs? Ano kayang naging ano ka ba, expert sa pag-apply at you've improved your CV and improved your selection criteria and letter of application, or do you think naswertehan mo lang ito, or is there something else that they need to do to get a job as an RMO, even as an RMO or a registrar position? Meron ka bang insight from your personal experience and from others?
um, One thing, perseverance. So, during that time na nag-apply po ako, I did my PTE August and then I submitted kasi hindi ka makakapag-apply for jobs if you don't have the English test. So, after I passed the PTE, I got my results the same day. I submitted like in different, like in all, across all territory. So, nag-submit ako ng maraming applications kahit ano, except specialist. Kasi hindi tayo specialist. So, I submit even registrar kasi yun yung turo sa akin before. Like, kung feeling mo, kaya mo, or like feeling mo, pasok ka, applyan mo lang. I would say, apply in as much jobs as you can kasi hindi mo alam kung kailan ka matatanggap or not. And then sometimes, there are just campaigns wherein they actually prioritize the locals and may campaign din na nagkumuha sila ng IMG. So I think the mid-year campaign, if you submit during the mid-year campaign, that's actually for next year. There's higher chances of you getting hired here. So running na siya ngayon. So like the WA campaign, may RMO campaign, and service registrar campaign. If you've done your residency back home, it's best for you to apply through this campaign and also check for other campaigns sa East Coast. I think na-discuss din to Doc before ni Doc Nictal about the different campaigns. You just have to look into it. At the same time, nakasubscribe ako sa Seek, sa Jora, ano pa ba? I think mostly Seek and Jora, and then even LinkedIn, binoost ko talaga yung CV ko. I also had a mentor back home, si Doc Janel. So I was doing AMC podcast before, and then sabi niya tulungan kita with the CV. So he helped me all throughout the process. I almost quit kasi Doc, lahat na lang ng emails ko, reject, 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 sunod-sunod na. So, syempre, tatamarin ka na parang, what's wrong with me? And then, I saw this video, YouTube video, if you're familiar with this, merong UST doctors na they were also talking about how to apply, ganyan. Sabi nila, make sure you don't just apply haphazardly. So, I think that's one lesson for me. You have to go through all the questions and then you have to answer it by the heart or like deep within. Talagang dapat you give it your all when it comes to the questions kasi they really read it. So wag niyong isipin na automated lang to, hindi to babasahin. I-send niya siya. And then when you do your cover letter, make sure na nakamatch din siya sa selection criteria. So I think that's one thing that I can tell them na number one, you have to persevere, do not quit. And also, if you feel like you're this person who gets yung nawawala ng motivation na get someone to help you. Get a mentor. I'm very much happy to answer your questions. Get a mentor, get someone who can help you.
Okay. So that's very, very good pieces of advice. Thank you. Any regrets or things you wish you have done differently now, looking back? Or
Hmm. Ako, Doc, I don't believe in regrets kasi I see every experience as a lesson, as an opportunity for growth. But I think if there's one thing na ni-regret ko, yung medyo na-late na ako nag-apply dito. Sabi ko, sana inagahan ko. Pero, yeah.
but you are
That's the
in the
only
right
thing.
time in his
Yeah.
time, di ba?
In his time, yes.
So what was your why before and what is your why now? Is it different?
So my biggest why before is definitely professional growth, career growth, and like knowing what is the best specialty for me. So those are the usual things na maiisip mo as a Filipino graduate because like you're expected to eventually do residency even after right after internship. But then I realized na hindi lang pagdodoktor yung buhay natin. Meron pa like there's something more than being a doctor. So when I came here, my why is um being able to spend my time with my family at the same time balancing it with my career growth. So, yeah.
So before I ask the last question, we'd like to open the conversation, the webinar for your questions for the participants. Are there any burning questions that you'd like to ask Dr. Jem or you want to ask me? Where you're welcome to just type it on the chat or feel free to unmute yourself or remove your video and just feel free to jump in. Doc Jam, sandali
Ang
ah.
dami niya.
Tatalon na lahat ng questions. Okay. Doc, how was your experience with job interviews? What were the common questions?
Common questions. Madami but generally, it actually depends kung ano yung pinapasukan mo, if it's an RMO or a registrar. But I would suggest you buying sa Amazon, I think, yung on-call na book. Kasi doon yung makukuha yung mga questions. It's very structured when it comes to the questions. They will be giving you a case, and then it's like AMC 1. May case ka, tapos at the end of the case, they will say what would be the next step or what are you gonna do for this one. So may mga clinical questions and meron din siyang ethical questions. But when it comes to the interview questions or job interview questions, I think it's best for you to practice it um, at least kung wala kang kausap, I think maybe you record yourself and then look for questions and then record yourself and then review that, and then that's the time that you can actually think of a feedback. Mas maganda kasi yung feedback coming from you. Yun. So, ang dami ng common questions, Doc. Hindi ko po siya maisa-isa. But mostly AMC1 questions, you just have to like elaborate on that.
You also need to probably to minimize the questions during the interview, you really need to populate your CV. Your number one goal in your CV is to champion yourself. Bawal ang hiya-hiya, bawal, ang tawag doon, bawal ang imposter syndrome. You
Mhm.
need to champion your CV, your achievements, clinical, hindi dapat general, dapat clinical. They want really to know more about you, what you can and cannot do. Ano yung capacity nyo mo, lalo na kung if you're applying for RMO job in emergency or in the
Mm.
wards as general medicine, you really need to champion what you can do. And in your CV, you need to write down everything about if you have some leadership positions, interns monitor or chief resident or whatever. If you are teaching junior doctors, for example, kung resident ka na or nagmo-moonlight ka, nagtuturo ka ng mga medical student, you have to write that down. You really need to champion yourself. Bawal ang tawag dun? Nakalimutan ko yung term. But yeah, really need to champion yourself with your CV. How many months did you get the job after PTE?
That was August po. August, September, October, November. I got the interview November 29. So I think 3 months. But then, as I told you, every day I would send an application. Kasi sabi ni Doc Nick before, kahit December 31, if it's holiday, you have to submit an application. Kasi kahit sabi mo walang nagtatrabaho that day, what if yun yung first email na mabasa nila? It's parang, ay, okay, maganda yung CV nito. Diba? But every day, I was really trying to send 2 to 3 applications to different hospitals. Yeah.
And also, the months doesn't really matter, di ba?
Mm, I
Kasi
agree.
you just apply, apply, apply.
I agree
How
po.
would you know how hard it is to be in a specialization program like OB and surgery?
I think Doc Vanessa is the best person
So
to ask this.
I did a specialist pathway. I am a radiologist, and what for for the people who are already specialists, it's gonna be hard to apply. Meaning, not really hard. It's actually easy. Meaning you need to apply for either a fellowship program, a 1 or 2 years fellowship program. You will apply all over the world because that's what I
Mhm.
did. I applied all over Australia. I applied for any fellowship positions in radiology all over Australia and around the world. And when I was here already, that's the time I went into specialist pathway. So that's how I did it. If you're an OB or a surgeon, that's my best advice for now. There's other ways to be a specialist by applying directly to the college, which, if you are a radiologist, I can guide you. For other specialty, I'm sorry, I cannot guide you. But if you're a radiologist, it's easy because I
Ah,
can easily guide you to do the radiology specialist pathway
yeah, Doc Vanessa is the best person for that. Add
because
ko lang po, Doc.
I have already
Uh,
met you.
for the specialist, add ko lang, Doc. I think unlike family medicine, if you have family medicine doctors here, I think it's partially comparable. So you can actually apply to a GP a GP job, but it has to be rural. Kasi you have to serve like 10 years. Um, and then, yeah, kung family medicine doc, they do
Oh,
sponsor, but
yes. Family med is easy. If you are a diplomate,
yeah.
if you are a FAMED diplomate, connect with me because I know the recruiter and I know I have the ebook already on my Facebook group. The step by step guide from zero to hero, how to apply for FAMED job here in Australia, and step by step, any requirements, etc. Care of Dr. Maricar Santos. Any tips in how to make your CV and optimize application process? I can answer that. Enroll in Dr. Nick Tal's CV writing, application, letter of application writing, and selection criteria writing. And she's hosting this once or twice a month. It's on her Facebook group, Filipino In and Out. Ang pangalan nun? Filipino In and Out Australia. Um, if you're not a member, you need to look for it, and it's all there. She posts, I think she's got an upcoming one this weekend. I'm not sure. So you really need, as what you Dr. Jem said, you need someone to review your CV, and Nictal is the best person to do that. She's also a Filipino doctor, health, and she's actually my inspiration why we're doing this. Do you have any tips? Uh,
Um, I would suggest that too, doc. Kasi it should be a one-on-one thing kapag ka CV. It actually depends on ano yun nga, yung sabi niyo po kanina, you have to showcase yourself in your CV.
Okay, next question. Do you think age would be a disadvantage? Actually, no. If you're a doctor, there's no age limit. I have friends who got their specialization at the age of 50. They became GP at the age of 50 or late 50s. I have actually met someone in Brisbane recently who just applied for the PEP pathway. This is for the diplomate FAMED. She just arrived at the age of 62. How cool is that? There's no age limit if you are a
Mm,
doctor because
doctor.
Australia is crying out for doctors. So no age limit. If you still wanting to dream big for you and your family or just to have a work-life balance, Australia is your is your choice. I mean, what your dream job, I suppose. Yeah. Any comment for that, Jem?
I'm not sure, doctor. I believe walang age restrictions. And may
Wala.
kilala din ako, doc, na at the same age but doing RMO as well. So I think it should be fine.
So, ang advantage mo pag doktor ka, if you receive your general registration, you can apply for PR. If you receive your fellowship, for example, if you pass the exam in radiology, then you
Mm.
are going to be a fellow of Royal Australian New Zealand College of Radiology. Straight away, you can apply for PR. If you pass your exam for RICGP, meaning GP exam, then you will be a fellow. Then you can apply for PR. So you only need to have general registration and a fellow of a college, a specialty to apply for PR regardless of age. Nasaan na tayo?
Some of them, doc, sinagot ko ng chat.
Okay.
Mm.
Visa and APRA process, I have the ebook. Can you please... Visa is gonna be, ang hospital ang mag-apply ng visa mo, na APRA,
Yep.
pag nabigyan ka na ng job offer. Bakit?
Some hospitals, doc, they will sponsor you, but you do your own visa. So you can lodge your own
That's
visa.
easy. You can do that on.
Easy lang.
You
Mm.
don't need an agent for that, but you have
Yeah.
option to pay an agent if you don't want to do it. Internship is very much paid.
Yes.
Can you elaborate how much an intern earns here in Australia?
It actually depends on which state. Pero it ranges from 70 to 90. Ang highest paid is 90,000 per year. Plus, syempre base pa lang yun. Plus overtime. And yeah, yung mga extra shifts if you're gonna pick some extra shifts as well. And also, Doc, may leave. Syempre may leave.
Paid
Hindi siya
leave.
tulad sa atin na bawal ka mag-absent kahit nakaswero ka na.
Eight,
So
eight,
paid leave,
8 weeks,
yeah,
8 weeks, 4 weeks annual leave, and 4 weeks of 2 weeks sick
PDL,
leave, and then 2 weeks professional
PDL,
development. So equivalent to 8 weeks of leave, annual leave.
yeah. So if you're
So
doing AMC2, say for example, you got into a job, you're gonna do AMC2, you can actually file for a study leave.
before I answer where can we apply for internship position, I'm just gonna answer how long have you prepared and reviewed for AMC, Jem?
Oh, I decided of December, I started January. Pero I was doing, um, I enrolled into a review center kasi I need the structure for the review. So I think January, so 5 months, doc, yung, pero full-time study of AMC. It actually
Um,
depends. Yeah.
So yung AMC, it's very much advisable to invest on
Yes.
review centers. And you are doing that. You're tutoring AMC one.
I'm teaching for MC1 kasi doc, the moment I passed, I said, hindi ako sisipagin mag-apply kapag hindi ko naaalalang kailangan ko mag-apply. So, that's the reason why
So maybe
nag-apply ako na hindi.
you can put in the chat and yung review center para ma-research nila yon. I think you really need to invest on AMC 1 and 2 reviews, whether online, face to face. What I heard from my other guests, they are really investing on AMC 2 face to face, eight
Yes.
weeks intensive course in Melbourne. Because mahal mag-exam, I don't know the cost. I know it's in my ebook, but may ebook ako. I don't know whether we've already shared the
Yeah.
ebook. Really, it's an investment, but that investment is really gonna
Worth it.
help you with your exam. But at the same time, you really need to have a mindset that this AMC 1 and 2 exam is like medical licensure exam, our Philippine board exam. You really need to study, not as just wag pagka may time ka lang. So, ang question mo about how long to prepare, it's like if you just passed your licensure exam, mag-review ka na kaagad at mag-exam ka na within 3 months. Marami akong na-meet na they were able to pass the AMC 1 after their licensure exam. 3 months review, pasado na sila ng AMC 1 kasi nasa ano sila nasa study mode.
Mm, yeah.
So, they want to know about the internship. Do you want to share
Oh, yes, Doc,
internship?
definitely. I prepared something for that for them. Very shortly. Sorry, I'm just gonna share my screen. So this is the private hospital stream. I know hindi pa siya nakashare. Wait lang. Um, sorry, Doc. Wait lang. 1 second. There you go. This is a private hospital stream. I'm gonna send you the link later. Pero it's very straightforward. Just for you to know, the eligibility, dalawa siya. So priority one, definitely if you're full fee paying international student. So like say for example, especially kung may mga kapatid kayo na gusto medicine dito, if dito sila nag-uni or nag-medicine, and then they met the Medical Board of Australia English Language Proficiency requirements. So you can do IELTS, you can do PTE, you can do OET. Pero PTE yung pinakamadali ipasa or like yung pinakamadali na mataas yung score na makuha mo. So go for PTE. And at the same time, if you're not an Australian citizen or you commit to getting a visa to work here. So that's priority one for those who graduated or doing their uni here. But for most of us, most of you are doctors in the Philippines already. Pasok tayo sa priority two eligibility criteria. All you have to do is, of course, be um, a, a medical professional, and then you have to meet the English test. And then you have to commit to getting a visa to work here in Australia during your internship year. So at least 1 year. Syempre, unahin nila yung priority one, and then if there would be slots for the priority two, then that's the time that they will consider you. These are the hospitals who actually deliver the private health stream. So it started from 2020 to 2025 this year. I'm not sure when they will open the slots again for next year, but last year nag-open sila during September. So abangan nyo sa website, and all you have to do is to send your CV or application here sa phs2025@health.gov.au. So what they do is to send your CV, cover letter, or kung ano yung hinihingi sa inyo to these hospitals above. So, meron Green Slopes, Calvary, etc. Yan. So, meron sa New South Wales, Queensland, and Victoria, and here in WA. So, some of them, they're happy to take up to PGY 2 to 3 places. I'll send the link po here sa chat box. But basically, that's how you do it.
Tas share mo yung ano, di ba?
I'll share the link.
So, can they use ChatGPT daw?
I think, Doc, when it comes to AI, generative AI, kapag from scratch, I don't think it's best for you to do chat GPT. You have to know ano ba yung i-highlight mo sa CV. Kasi mind you guys, when you do your CV, binabalikan yan ng employer. So they will ask you, oh, so you said in your CV like this and that. So if you don't know the answer, kasi hindi ko yung gumawa ng CV mo si ChatGPT, patay. That's why you have to do it on your own, and then for like say for example grammar ganyan, tsaka mo lang i-chat GPT.
And use the British Australian language if you're applying in Australia because we don't use American language. That's just
That's
my
one thing.
advice. Ito maganda yung question. RMO daw siya and she nagre-resonate daw siya sa'yo. I really resonate with the experiences you share. They mirror and mine closely. I was wondering if you have any recommended resources for improving clinical synthesis, medical knowledge, and the structure of case presentations. They were areas highlighted in midterm assessment, and I'm keen to improve.
I think when it comes to the medical knowledge, you have to go through the guidelines kasi meron tayong therapeutic guidelines or like what specific guidelines. Say for example, sa NSW, merong sariling guidelines yan when it comes to ED jobs or like common cases in ED. But then when it comes to the structure in general, like clinical synthesis and the structure of case presentations, you know what I would do if I were in your shoes? I would go to PGME, kung may ganun kayo, the Postgraduate Medical Education Team, because surely meron yan sa hospital niyo. There are the merong medical education team sa hospital that you can actually ask them on how or like ask for support on what you can do or how to improve yourself. Kasi yung midterm assessment is crucial. Um, I know it's crucial for you if you're gonna be able to pass your term or not. The problem is if you're not gonna pass your term, it means if you're doing the 47 weeks of rotation, you have to do it again. So you have to score at least for 3 to 5 assessments mo. And I think the best person um uh to ask is your medical education officer
And your supervisor.
and
And
supervisor,
your other
definitely.
colleagues, RMOs, what books are they reading? They might have something, I don't know, ano bang resource materials library
Mm,
meron ka namang access sa library, di ba? You need to ask. So it's very good question. And if you need mentorship, ask for mentorship.
yeah.
Maybe
Agree.
it's not about that. Maybe it's a mindset then. You probably just a bit overwhelmed, you know. As other Pinoy doctors who are also RMOs in the group chat. How I hope we answered your question. How important was your work experience in getting a job? Can I answer this first and then you can
Yes, Doc, definitely.
if you are a doctor in the Philippines and you're applying for a job, for example, RMO job, this RMO job is meaning you're doing hospital work or ED work. You need to be in a hospital, moonlighting or doing residency in a hospital. You will not get a job if you're working in a private clinic or doing field health or doing physical examination or company physician. You will not be even considered because if you are applying for RMO job or intern job, or a registrar job, you need to have the experience, meaning recency of hospital work. So if you are really keen to apply for Australian jobs, you need hospital jobs. You need to
Uh,
moonlight if you're not moonlighting.
I agree. They have like preference po when it comes to hospital jobs. But there are also, like, say, for example, during my, for me, they considered me, well, even if I was doing, like, yung nakita po nila sa CV ko was, oh, you were a telehealth physician. Sabi ng consultant. I said, yes, but I was catering to, like, all of the, like, yung population would be ONG, PEDS, and Gen Med. So you have to highlight that if you're doing telehealth. But in general, it's best if you do hospital jobs.
And remember, you are competing against other doctors all over the world who are working in a hospital. So if you are really keen to be prioritized and considered, you need to be working in a hospital. Ayan ang advice ko sa mga YouTube
Mm.
interviews ko at nurse ko. Um, can you apply for internship without AMC1?
No, you have to do AMC1 and PTE. That's the minimum. Minimum na po yun. Hindi equivalent yung PRC natin with um,
If you have AMC1
APRA.
and AMC2 passed mo na pareho, you are
That's the
welcome to
best.
apply for, yeah, that's the best. You are welcome to apply for RMO jobs and registrar jobs. You are even more eligible to apply for registrar job or fellowship position if you are already a specialist. Hi, Doc. Want to ask if the hospital also offers help in finding housing? No. You're gonna have a look for your own, and that's why we have this community. You can check the group chat, and we can assist you and connect you to people. But no, they will not help you with the housing, and you need to have at least $450 to $500 per week na pambayad ng 6 to 8 weeks advance for your rental.
Yeah.
So you need to make lagare, lagare sa trabaho para makaipon ka for your rental, 8 weeks deposits
Yeah.
sa rental apartment. Is there a requirement for internship application po or same lang po with RMO?
It's basically the same. Basically the same. Kasi with APRA, you're RMO, but with the hospital, you're doing the intern position. So it's the same.
So we've already posted my free ebook AMC step-by-step guide. Feel free to download and check it out. For how to download this, so you scan the QR code, you will enter your email and then go and check your email. If you cannot find it in your email, you need to look for your spam email inbox to find the ebook access. How may I ask how you went about with your visa application for you and your family?
The hospital sponsored po for the visa, but then I have to pay for my husband and my daughter. It's very easy kasi ilalagay mo lang doon, sasabihin mo lang sa hospital mo kung may dependent ka ba or wala. And then mag-offer na sila ng sponsorship. Sponsorship is just a letter. Um, and then you can then apply for the visa. So for 407, that's a training visa. 482, which is the working visa, you can bring your dependents here.
Do you have a copy of the on-call book?
I bought it. Hindi ko po siya ma-share kasi nasa Amazon
Just buy it
bookshelf
on
po siya. You
Amazon.
have to buy. Unfortunately, sorry.
How many years do you need to complete internship before getting an RMO job?
Just a year. 1 year.
Is it advisable to prepare for AMC in Australia, or is it too costly, or are there work opportunities also in Aussie while preparing for AMC?
AMC 2 po ba? Or
In
prepare for
general, AMC
AMC
1
and
and 2.
oh, AMC 1 and 2, I think it's best if you watch Dr. Arian's webinar. Kasi ganun yung ginawa niya. She prepared for AMC 2 here. But then because also I think her partner was here, so I think
Yeah.
it's best. But it depends on your situation. If kung wala kang support here, wala kang titiran, just prepare it at home and then come to Melbourne to do your AMC 2. But AMC 1 you can just take in Makati.
So, AMC 1, depende rin ang situation mo. If you are already living here in
Yes.
Australia, obviously take the AMC 1 and 2 here. But if you're in the Philippines and money is a problem, my personal suggestion, you need to do it in the Philippines and continue working, moonlighting or whatever, because you will need all the money that maipon mo for your AMC 2. Instead of wasting your money for rental apartments here and other Aussie dollar expenses, you want to invest that money for your AMC 2 because it's mahirap, mahal, and also mag-iipon ka for your PTE, mag-iipon ka for your visa application and for your family. You have a lot of expenses, which I think Dr. Ayana on her Instagram, meron siyang breakdown ng mga expenses. I also have a breakdown of the expenses for AMC 1 and 2 sa ebook ko, so just check it out. Are there any work opportunities in Australia? Having said that, we have friends who have passed AMC 1. Until now, they don't have work, cannot find work because they are over qualified. But having said that, there are others who found jobs. But everybody's different. The people who are here who passed the AMC 1, they are here because they have partners or they have relatives. That's why they have no choice but to be here. I hope we answered your question. Yes, it's possible. How can you work while preparing for AMC 1? What is your visa if you come here? If you're coming here to do your AMC 1 in a visitor's visa, you are not legally allowed to work. How about public health doctors?
I think should be fine, Doc. It's still a recency, but challenging lang din, Doc, when it comes to RMO jobs.
Yeah. Kung
Mm,
public health doctor ka at wala kang hospital work and you're applying for a hospital work, then you may not be prioritized
mm.
or considered. I would just like to clarify the process on how Dr. Jem became an intern. Did you take AMC 2? No, AMC 1 lang before you got accepted for the position. So AMC 1 lang siya. I would view more. Naasagot mo na pala siya. I would just like to add, how long did you do observing before internship?
Oh, that was just 1 day, Doc. I was just waiting for APRA. It's just
That
one
takes a
day.
long
Mm,
time.
mm,
They only usually meet once a month, and if the hospital wants you to come now, they will,
yeah.
you know, support you to come now if you want. That's your option, or you can stay in the Philippines while waiting for your APRA registration. It may take 3 to 6 months. APRA registration is really up to you.
Mm.
For intern position application, there's a part asking if nag-intern. Ayan, yun na yung question mo.
At eto, Doc, just to clarify, kasi I know na open yung intern campaign. It's different from this private health stream. Okay, yung intern campaign is basically talagang real like internship siya. Graduate ka ng medicine, magsa-start ka pa lang ng internship mo. And mostly, that's actually for the local graduates. Kung nag-intern ka na, and PGY 4, 5 ka na sa atin, you don't qualify for that. So you're not supposed to apply through that pathway. That's why this private health stream we're discussing today is because they can give you an RMO position, but you're doing an intern or intern, you're filling out an intern um job. So magkaiba siya. And yung nakita nyo kanina dun sa website, even PGY 3, they can make you as an intern in the hospital. And then usually, pag intern ka na doon, the next year, they will just ask you, gusto mo pa bang magstay with us or not? So technically, you don't have to apply for the next year. May sure job ka na for the next year.
But you need to make sure that they will renew your APRA registration because APRA
Yes.
every year renewal.
Yeah.
Kasi without your APRA, you're not allowed to practice as a doctor. So it's a yearly renewal.
Yeah.
I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Nicole. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And we're championing you because you are in our inspiration, if not for your Facebook group, Filipino Doctors to, in, and for Australia. I don't think I'll be doing this webinar. I don't think I'll be inspired to help more Pinoy doctors to dream big for their career here in Australia. And I'd like to acknowledge that you are opening up a CV set. It's a paid CV session mentoring program. So if you are interested to boost your CV, please join her paid mentoring program. It's on Saturday. It's all the details are posted on her Facebook group, Filipino Doctors 2 in and for Australia. So it's a very intensive course and we highly recommend it. And she's got a lot of success stories already. So this is a very good investment. And it's not that expensive because it's a group program. Does internship in Australia has compensation? We answered that. 60 to 80. Ang minimum wage dito is 40K. So, buhay na buhay ka na pag doctor ka na dito as an intern. Ang mga interns na na-meet ko, actually, they already have their own rental apartment and cars. And they're very, ang tawag dun? Independent. If doing only clinic work here in the Philippines, are we eligible to apply as intern or not po kasi hospital work? I think we've answered that. Ideally, you need to have hospital work, otherwise you will not be considered. Or if you do get considered, then lucky you. But if you really want to apply for a hospital job and you're not getting any responses, I think you really need to consider doing at least moonlighting. Considering going through the GP route, I have been practicing GP operational medicine for 9 several settings such as corporate. What is the pathway for GP practice? I think this is a question for Dr. Nicole. You just need to go and join her CV writing or go to her Facebook group, and there's a group chat for GPs. You can just you can just DM her there, right, Nicole? Can you answer this question if you can, please? Thanks, Nicole. Very grateful for your contribution as well and inspiration. After general registration, Doc, can you immediately apply for PR?
You have to have 1 year of experience na 482. That's the new rule po. So, when you have general registration, kung nag 482 ka na, basically yes. Technically yes, kasi kung pumasok ka AMC 1, AMC 2, naka-provisional registration ka, you just have to complete your 47 weeks of rotation. The moment na mag-apply ka na registration with APRA, that's general registration already. So, naka 1 year ka na last year, pwede ka na mag-apply ng PR.
Would like to clarify po, can a specialist pedia IM here in the Philippines still apply for internship in Australia?
Yes. Yes,
Yes,
though.
but you'd like to apply for RMO job instead
Or
or
registrar.
register. Actually, you're more eligible to apply for registrar position if you are already a pedia or IM.
For
Or
if
a
they're
fellowship program. Maraming
fellowship.
nag-open ngayon na pinost ko sa group chat at sa aking Facebook group. I don't know if I've shared my Facebook group. DM nyo na lang ako para ma-accept ko kayo sa
Mm.
Facebook group ko.
Add ko lang, Doc, yung sa specialist. If they're really, really keen to just get into the system, I have colleagues who are actually IM specialists and did this one. So, yes pa rin.
They also did the internship.
Yes, Doc.
You just need to be in the system,
Mm,
whatever position, whether intern or RMO. Kasi that's when you can get clarity of how is your pathway gonna be. Is it gonna be standard pathway or specialist pathway? That's the only time you will have clarity and direction once you naka-apa ka na dito sa Australia at meron ka ng APRA registration.
yes.
What's the difference between private RMO stream from RMO job offers from public hospital? Parang pareho lang yun.
Mm. It's the same. It's the same. Yung difference lang is yung private internships stream is they will hire you as an intern in the hospital, but basically it's the same.
Would you know if there are any other part-time job opportunities aside from hospital roles, such as global health?
I'm
Sandali lang.
not sure, Doc.
Hindi ko alam yan.
Not sure.
And if I need AMC 2 and 3 accreditation. Hindi ko alam yan. Are you meaning you don't want to be a clinician, and you want to do non-clinical work? I'm sorry, I cannot help you about non-clinical role.
Non-clinical work. I
I
think, Doc,
think
when it part-time, mahirap po when it comes to visa, no? Dapat
I
full-time po.
think once you receive your general registration and permanent residency, that's the time you are able to, if you already passed your fellowship exam or you have general registration, please connect with me. I can connect you with non-clinical jobs. But for now, your goal, if you want to come to Australia, is to get APRA registered and pass whatever exam or specialty you want to go. Basa na tayo. Is there a registrar job that is only focused on pedia or
Yes.
Yes, we posted that already. It's open. There's a lot of job openings in Eastern States. I've already posted that in the group chat. I don't know whether they're part of the Filipino into group ni Nicole. I've already posted all those jobs in the group chat. It's open. It's now is your time. So really, everyone, can you please enroll in Nicole's CV writing course program on Saturday? Because there's a lot of job openings here in Australia, in WA, especially and the eastern states. It's all out there. They are now accepting applicants. I don't know when is the deadline, but the sooner the better. Docs, do you require the interns to take MC2 ASAP?
Do they require, there are
Yeah.
certain hospitals who actually would want you to do the AMC too. At least try. Um, so I would say yes, but then what my supervisor said that it's best to actually just get yourself into the system tapos itry mo muna yung work kasi mahirap din ma-overwhelm bago yung system tapos mag-exam ka. So it actually depends on which hospital you're applying to. The second question is, you recommend WBA over AMC2? If you're still in the Philippines, wala ka pang job offer, I would recommend you doing the AMC2 because nowadays it's very competitive. Una, sa group chat na ito, Doc, merong 4 na pages. So, so it's very competitive. And they would prefer you to be coming here with a provisional registration, which means you have to complete your AMC2 at least kasi they would want someone who will be eligible to do general or to be registered as a in a general registration the next year. WBA is very competitive to get into, but it's doable. So I would say if you have the resources and you're still waiting for a job offer, go for AMC2.
How about anesthesiologists and radiologists here in the Philippines? What career can we pursue in Australia? Thank you. Mappy, DM me expression of interest. Send me an expression of interest, your CV, and email it to Dr. Vanessa. And I have a step-by-step guide for you. I've been mentoring radiologists to Filipino doctors, radiologists, how to become a radiologist here. It's easy, specialist pathway. And you've met them, Jem, di ba?
Yes, so.
So you just need to send me a expression of interest and CV or why. In your expression of interest, why? Because not everybody is for Australia. You need to have a big why to pursue the challenges, obstacles, perceived challenges and obstacles. But that's why we are here. We are here to mentor you and help you hold your hand. Anesthesiologists, I don't know. There are anesthesia registrar position available at the moment posted. Apply for an anesthesia registrar position. And then you actually, when you are applying for a fellowship position, you actually don't need AMC 1 and 2 if you're applying for a fellowship. The only time you need to AMC, a minimum of AMC 1 is when you're applying for RMO job, internship, or registrar position. I think the last question na, it's time for me to go home and for Jem
Yes,
to rest because you are under the weather. Doc, as an RMO, where did you learn the scope of medications you are only allowed to prescribe for patients ward-based must be overwhelming?
they have guidelines and you have mentors. So all you have to do is ask.
Okay, you answered already the question of Chen. So yeah, thank you to everyone for joining us. I hope you all learned a lot and got inspired. And please don't hesitate to connect. And yeah, and oh, last parting word, what advice would you give to Filipino doctors aspiring to practice in Australia?
First, take your AMC1, AMC2. But in general, you again, ulitin ko doc yung word ko kanina, perseverance. So you have to really know why you want to be here. Kasi kapag nakalimutan mo yon, madaming path na pwede mong gawin. Ito na lang gawin ko, ito na lang. Do not give up and surround your people with good mentors like what I did. I had Dr. Vanessa, I had Dr. Janil as well. So, yeah, you can come here if you're really interested or like really, really keen to do so.
So my advice, join Dr. Nicole's CV writing because if you really want your CV to be very, ano tawag dun? Um, CV, strong CV to be attractive to the recruitment agency or to the HR of the hospitals, you really need to know how to craft your CV, how to champion yourself. It's really important. Please do not hesitate to connect with us if you have any other questions and if you want another group mentoring program or something like this, just let me know in the Facebook group. So thank you, Jem. Thank you, everyone. I
Thank you
appreciate
po.
your time. Really grateful for your story, for sharing your journey. It's actually feels overwhelming, but that's why we are here to make it simple for you. That's why I wrote the ebook guide for everyone. It's a step-by-step guide. I also have a step-by-step guide for PEP pathway. These are for the FAMED diplomates. We also have the ebook guide for radiology specialist pathway. So maybe we need to write the internships guidebook too. Jem can author that. So
Pwede daw,
yes,
pwede.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you po.
All the best and good luck. Good luck to your Australian dream. And if we can do it, you can do it too. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you.